What's up, Pet Lords? It's your god, Lightwater here, coming at you with another video. And today we're going to be going over how to heal in 5 mans with the Resto Druid. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so I want to start this video out by showing you guys what I'm currently running. I'll kind of go into depth a little bit later on, but here's what I'm currently using for Azerite pieces. I have the regrowth heals for about 1,000 more over its duration, of its healing over time effect. God, I can't read. And its heal over time effect also applies to the target of your life bloom. Now this is a little bit misleading, by the way. So what this actually means is that it refreshes your regrowth, okay? So I'll show you a quick little demonstration here. So you life bloom yourself, we'll use this guy. Okay, thank you for going invisible. Right. Okay, so watch. I have 9 seconds, I'll regrowth him, and boom, my regrowth is back to 14 seconds. And for some reason I also get wild growth, but that's because of a PvP talent, so crazy. But yeah, essentially it refreshes your regrowth. I think this is actually still really good. Another 1,000 to your regrowth healing is pretty insane for the haunt. I think I have double of those traits. Where is that? Yes, I have double those traits. So typically this haunt is only supposed to be about 3,000, but I have it about 5,000. So it would normally do about 1,100. I have it healing at about 1,300. I think that's a pretty good increase. And also it refreshes the target, right? So if I don't have to keep regrowthing the tank, I think that's very powerful. Yeah, the other ones, whenever when you get stunned and mobilized or knocked back, you get healed. I think when druids get stunned or mobilized or knocked back, it's really big. So I kind of want to heal on that. Okay, so this is Swiftman heals the target for 4,538 over 9 seconds. Grove Tending. I think this is very good because it's another haunt. So whoever I give this to, I know that they're pretty much going to go to full health because they'll probably have a rejuve, a cultivation, and a regrowth tick. So they're going to have a lot of mastery built up. Is the other one, Blood Siphon, increase your mastery by 64 and leech by 32. So mastery is by far your best stat. Let me just go ahead and show you real quick my stat weights, okay? And now these are sort of tuned to my current character. I do my own stat weights. I actually do all the math for them and everything. But yeah, leech is currently, this is, by the way, this is the percent HPS gain you will gain from stacking 100 of the stats. So 100 crit equals 1.388%. 100 haste equals 1.471%. So you kind of get it, right? So you'll notice that leech and mastery are by far the winners, right? They're neck and neck at about 2.5 each. Then it goes intellect at 1.8, then haste at 1.4, then crit at 1.3, and with versatility at the very tail end at 1.1. So Resto Druid is very fortunate, and all of their stats scale very well. Mastery scales incredibly well. Mastery is by far better than intellect, okay? So anytime we can get more mastery and more leech, it's amazing, and this just so happens to give us both. So Blood Siphon is incredibly good for Resto Druid. Moving on, I have on my chest piece, I have Rampant Growth and Azerite Fortification. So another regrowth heal, so this makes regrowth hot even better. And another one when you're stunned, immobilized, or knocked back, you get healed. Obviously, these are not my chosen Azerite traits, but this is just what I have to work with for right now. I've gotten pretty shafted in the gear department, as you can see. Everybody else in my guild is like 10 item levels above me. It's pretty sad. But a lot of my gear has gems in it, which is pretty good. So 40 mastery gem, a 40 mastery gem, you know, so it's okay. And I have a decent amount of leech on my gear too. Another mastery gem there, so it's not too bad. So that's what I'm currently running with, guys. I have a couple pieces that I can change out with. But I'm not going to show those right now. Yeah, I highly suggest keeping around a lot of your Azerite pieces so you can mix and match. Yeah, this one gives mastery. Okay, so yeah, there's the stat weights. There's my Azerite. Let's go over the talents. Okay, here's my default talents for right now. This is for running Mythic Zeros. I think Abundance. I still think it's worth it, even though there's only 5 targets that you could possibly get to work with. I do think the other options are okay, but that's just a completely different kind of playstyle. If you want to run Scenario Word, I don't think it makes you worse. However, I think Scenario Word is completely useless when you have Photosynthesis, and I'll explain that later. Tiger Dash for mobility. I think Renewal is kind of a waste. Like, it's just a 30% heal and has a 1.5 cooldown. Like, it's not that good for PvE. For PvP, I think it's actually pretty solid, but it's whatever. And wild charges, it's I mean, I feel like it's situational. Like, you can go it if you want. For 45, I don't like balance affinity. I mean, I guess you could do balance affinity if you want to be doing damage. Feral affinity is pretty garbage for doing damage, so you'd only take feral affinity for the movement speed. Guardian affinity is just a sweet passive of 6%. Reduce damage, and also gives you a really nice heal, right? Called Frenzy Regeneration, 24% of your health, and it's considered a hot, which means it'll heal for more. And it can be used every 32 seconds, and that is reduced by haste. So it's pretty sweet. I would suggest that if you're going to go Feral Affinity, maybe you want Renewal, but that's up to you. I do Tiger Dash Feral Affinity or Tiger Dash Guardian Affinity. I like movement speed, and I like staying alive, so I don't like having another button. That's why I haven't really liked Renewal. But I don't think any of these are game changers if you disagree with me. 60 row, that's just CC. Pick whatever you want. 75, I think Soul of the Forest is garbage personally. I think your only real two choices are between Cultivation and Tree. And if you play the Tree play style, you're probably more of a cooldown player. You like, using cooldowns to counter high damage moments. That's fine. I'm not a cooldown player. I like to just have a lot of damage always. And I feel like Cultivation is a must. You're basically going to always be rejuvenating everybody you can, and it counts as another hot for everybody, which is going to be another stack of your mastery. Since your mastery is so strong, I feel like it's worth it. It doesn't heal for much, but that's not the point. It's just another hot. Like, you need a hot on top of a hot on top of a hot on top of a hot. Just stacks your mastery so fast. So... But I don't disagree with the Tree. Again, I think this is a choice, but if you want to do what I'm doing, I'm going Cultivation. For the 90 row, I actually think all three of these are viable in a 5-man, believe it or not. Inner Focus, reduce the cooldown on your tank by a whole minute, making it 2 minutes. Stone Bark's an amazing cooldown for your tank, and increases your heal over time effects by 20%. And it makes the Iron Bark go from a 1 minute to 45-second cooldown. Spring Blossoms is so good. People are sleeping on this thing, dude. I actually think this thing's OP in 5-mans too. Like, yeah, it's a lot of mana to constantly keep the mushroom down, and the idiots are gonna always stand in it, but it's just another hot. Your tank's gonna basically always be standing in it, especially if you aim it correctly. And it's just a passive heal. It's really, really good with once you have, like, imagine you have rejuice on everybody. So, and they're all taking damage. You have Cultivations on everybody, and they're all standing in the Spring Blossoms. So they have Spring Blossoms. That's 3 hots already. You can Wild Growth. That's 4 hots. If you can get them all regrowth, that's like you see what I'm saying. Like, it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. There's so many hots, and it all gets increased by your mastery. Last row, Photosynthesis is my default choice. I feel like it has so much flexibility. If you put it on the tank, that tank is not gonna die. If you put it on yourself, you're gonna do 20% more healing. A lot of flexibility there. I've actually been defaulting putting it on the tank the majority of the time. I think the bloom heal with when you have like 5+ hots on the tank is insane. It's like 10 to 20k, and it goes about every second. It's about 10% of my healing. I feel like it's actually really, really powerful. If you put the life bloom on yourself, then you just have to be a little bit more cognizant to cast more spells, because you're not just going to have your life bloom taking away healing the tank. So you will actually have to keep up most of the hots in the tank all the time. But you'll be doing 20% more. So it's just whatever. It's got flexibility. Throw it on yourself if you want to do raid healing, group healing, and you throw it on the tank if you need to do a lot of single target healing, or maybe somebody who's taking a damage from a mechanic. You know what I mean? I switch my life bloom all the time. There are a lot of druids who think Germination is really good. I think it's trash. I personally think the gain that you would gain from Germination is worse than the 20% increased healing that you gain from this talent. And also, the first rejuvenation is the one that applies Cultivation. The second rejuve does not apply Cultivation. So, in my opinion, it's a waste of global, right? Because when everybody's taking damage, you want to get 1 rejuve on everybody to proc the Cultivation, not necessarily double stack rejuves, right? So you go rejuve, move next target, rejuve, next target, rejuve, next target, rejuve, right? So you get 4 people, all the DPS plus yourself. I'm assuming you always have rejuve on the tank. You get all of them 2 hots, right? Whereas with this, you'd have to spend all 4 of those globals on just 2 people instead of 4, and you'd only have 4 hots to show for it, where this would be 8. Like, I don't know, I just don't think it's worth it, and you spend a lot more mana, and it's just, like, unless you're, I just don't think it's good. Sorry. Flourish does not have a place in 5-man. Flourish is incredibly good in Raid. You could go Flourish, Scenario Ward if you're weird like that. But again, I just not my playstyle. I'm a really big fan of passives, and I really like all of these hot passives together, and I keep a heavy number of rejuves up, so my regrowths hit really hard and they're really cheap. And I've been doing a lot of HPS that way. So yeah, I guess I'm going to show you guys some footage, and we'll go over it now. I have some footage from when I was streaming last time up here. It's on 2x speed, so it's going to be a little chaotic. I have no idea if this is going to be any good footage or not. We are in Waycrest Manor, I believe. The spooky house one, whatever that one is. And so yeah, I'm just kind of keeping hots up on the tank. You know, there's Rejuve, Life Bloom fell off, give him that. Oh, we pulled the world. Actually, this is a pretty impressive... Oh no, it's not right here. I think we pulled everything and I somehow healed through. It's pretty insane. But yeah, I'm just constantly trying to keep the number of Rejuves up as high as possible, so that when I do get to the point where I'm spamming regrowths, they already have the rejuve, the cultivation, and my regrowths are going to hit pretty hard because they're probably going to crit and they're really cheap. Yeah. And so yeah, this stuff over here is my weak auras. You can see that. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but I like my weak auras to be as annoying as possible. Let's see if we can skip ahead. It's a little bit boring. Alright, so it's the boss fight. I think, if I remember correctly, we don't even let this tree burn. I think we went to like 40 stacks or something, yeah. So you'll see how much tank healing I'm doing. Watch this. And I just spam regrowth on him, right? So he's got like 5-6 hots, right? So he's standing in the mushroom, he's got rejuve, he's got cultivation, he's got life bloom, he's got regrowth. And I'm just, look at him just spamming. Look at those regrowth heals. It's insane. So I know he needs to get his, yeah. Look at that healing. And so I'm just doing so much single target healing. The bloom healing from photosynthesis, we're just keeping up. And look at this boss is at 44 stacks, 45 stacks on Mythic 0, 46, 47. I mean, this boss is doing so much of his health every second. I just heal. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm jizzing over this. This is good shit. Oh yeah, I got that trinket. This trinket was okay. Okay. So yeah, that's a really good example of how much single target healing you could do. I healed a protection paladin through like 50 stacks on this boss. It's just the amount of flexibility you have as a druid right now, I feel like is insane. You're one of the greatest single target healers in the game. You're one of the greatest AoE healers in the game. Like, we scale really hard. It's just, oh, I think this is actually really good too. Okay, so there's a wild growth. I'm putting rejuve on everybody. I'm just constantly getting silenced. And look, I'm doing 15k HPS. It's not bad. Yeah, I always try to use Innervate as much as possible to keep my mana up. Oh, I think... Uh-oh. I don't know. Do we wipe here? I don't remember. So yeah, you can see that. So I'm getting ready. I know it's going to be insane. Like, I'm spamming. Okay, so the tank has quite a few hots right here. Okay, so let me pause. So I just Swiftman him. He's got cultivation. That's 2 hots. He's got rejuve. He's got regrowth. He's got life bloom. He was standing in the mushroom. 6, I think. So he's receiving like 75% increased healing right now. Plus the bloom heal is just ticking nonstop. You see that? It was a 17k bloom heal. Like, and that's just gonna be on him all the time. Like, I haven't even stopped to drink for a mana, and we've just been like pulling everything non-stop. I think I actually remember when I was telling everybody I was just dead him. It's kind of funny. I just started wrathing. Guys, I'm supposed to be giving good advice here, but I can't really think of too much. It's sort of a feeling, right? Like, Resto Druid, you kind of have to really know the dungeons, and you really have to hot beforehand. And if you're not sure, if you don't know the dungeons, I highly suggest keeping at least these hots up. I suggest keeping Rejuve, Life Bloom up on the tank 24/7. You can't go wrong with that. If you find that you have to do a lot of AoE healing, you can always just switch Life Bloom onto yourself for that extra little kick. I typically didn't have to do that. I found that not having to heal the tank ever was kind of a better boon. And remember, I have the Azerite trait, so when I regrowth him, when I regrowth other people, it automatically renews his regrowth. So that is very handy. So oftentimes I found that I just never even had a hard cast on the tank, like unless the tank was taking so much damage. But even then, you just spark him, right? So it was just incredibly easy for me personally. So there's not really too much I can tell you because I'm fine. You know, there's not too much to say. Oh, this is sad. I end up drinking next to an ad. That was pretty bad. I think this is actually. Do we live from? I think I die. Yeah, I die here. I think this is too much healing. Look, so I'm going around, I'm tranking the... Oh, look at this, is insane. Okay, so I was not prepared for this. I'm going around regrowthing all the wild growth targets there. I finally got rejuves on everybody. You know, way too late. The tank dies, unfortunately. This is insane. So this is 20k HPS. Yeah, it was too much to live for. I knew I fucked up there. I knew I fucked up really bad. And I hated myself for it. Because I pulled that extra pack and I waited too long to get rejuves out. So there's a perfect example of a fight. I guess we can actually kind of review the footage. So let's go back here. When I was healing all that craziness. Okay. So everything's going to shit. So right here is where I know it's about to get bad. Because I pulled extra, right? So what I should be doing is right here. I should be going rejuve, 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 rejuve. But I don't. So only Jagged has rejuve. I should be casting. And see, now things have gone to shit. So I used wild growth, but I should have rejuves on everybody. So you never want a wild growth preemptively before rejuves, right? Because wild growth costs so much. And wild growth you want to have its full effect when you have so many other hots already active, right? I don't even have like other hots on people yet, and so this fight gets really bad. And I pulled more ad right there, which is just bad. Like I did so many things wrong here; it was horrible. So this is obviously me showing that I am human. I do make mistakes a lot. Life Bloom's just sitting off cooldown here. It should probably be on me because I'm having to heal so much. I should probably get 20% increased healing. I think I put it on myself there, so that's good. So here's a wild growth tranquility with Life Bloom on myself. So that's why the strength does so much work here. Like you'll see, basically just did so much healing. So mushrooms off cooldown. I kind of throw it over here. I put the Life Bloom on the tank because he's taking a lot of damage. There's a regrowth, so now he's got regrowth, rejuve, Life Bloom, but he's still taking a lot of damage. Now I'm going for the wild growth, so that'll be the 5th hot because now he's got cultivation, wild growth, rejuve. And so now these guys I've neglected, right? So they still don't have rejuve. And since he's solo, I go for the regrowth instead of the rejuve, right? Because sometimes you just have to cast something on them before they die. And so see, I kind of fixed it. I realized I didn't have rejuve on, so now I'm doing homework, right? Now I'm doing all the rejuves, which I should have had already. That was the Swiftman, so he's topped. Life Bloom's about to fall off, so I put it back on him. Now I realized that I don't have a regrowth hot, so I go for the regrowth there, the wild growth, but he got bursted too fast because I wasn't watching him. I try to heal OTK through this. I can't. It was rough. Yeah. I almost made the best of a bad situation, right? So I pulled extra ads twice, and I almost fixed it. That's how powerful Resto Druid is right now. I almost fixed it. I did a lot of things right. I did a lot of things wrong there. If I was going to fuck up that bad, then I should have done all the rejuves beforehand. I did not. That's why I made that fight so much harder. Everybody not having 2 more hots. Man, if I had done that, that would have helped so much. But yeah, that was a big whoopsies. This fight's just pathetic. I think this fight's so easy. Alright. Yeah. This fight, I mean, you just keep up Life Bloom, rejuve, regrowth on the tank, and look, yeah, he's not even needing heals. Yeah, it's just insane. Look at that passive healing. I'm over here casting like Wrath and stuff just for fun. Yeah. Okay. Is this what goes on here? Yeah, there's actually a lot of mistakes here. So again, I'm regrowthing a target that doesn't have a rejuve. That's a mistake. So I actually need to work on a lot of this stuff. So I'm not perfect. You know, I guess I could have gotten, you know, better clips to show you guys, but I think showing you guys mistakes that I did is actually more informative, because then you can see maybe things that you guys thought weren't mistakes. Well, you can see that, you know, I know I'm making mistake after mistake after mistake here. I think I'm looking at some talents or something for some reason. Oh, or songs. Yeah, this is where I was getting yelled at by my raid leader, who's in our 5-man here, our GM. He was telling me to use Ursoc's Vortex. I didn't play Druid really at all last expansion too much, so I didn't really have this guy set up and ready to go. And there's a lot of stuff that changed. I think Ursol's Vortex used to be a talent. So yeah, here we go. I finally get rejuves on the whole group, and I let him die because I wasn't watching. It's like even when I am playing right now, there's so many ways that I could get better on this Druid. So that's nice. Yeah, I got all 5 rejuves up into the wild growth. It's just constantly keeping your rejuves up, I would say, is the most important thing, right? Even if a target's like almost full health, still give him a rejuve, because it's going to help your regrowth healing, because your regrowth is going to cost less and do more healing. So I think I'm going to stop the video here, guys. Hopefully there was something in here that helped you guys. Feel free to put questions down below. I realize that I can't always show you everything in that clip there. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. Check out my Twitch, guys. Twitch.tv/lightwater. Feel free to ask me any questions. I have some guys in there all the time asking me like what I'm trying now. I'm looking forward to trying out all the new Azerite gear, trying to find out what's OP. I really like the refreshing regrowth thing. I really like the haunt on Swiftman. I think that's pretty decent. Some of the other ones kind of feel weird. I like the Ysera's Gift one, where it makes it 4 seconds. And it heals for more based off all your rejuve targets. I think that'd be more for raiding though. We'll have to find out. But yeah, guys, that's the end. Thank you for watching, and let's make healing great again.